I could go searching for a Grav Blade. How's that? How is that? How is this even possible? Welcome back, Sakura crew. I am back today with our blue-yellow Nami leader, getting ready for this OP11 format. Now, I gotta say, I'm getting really pumped for this Nami. She is performing very well. I've made a couple of changes to the list since the last video, and the big ones is, well, I don't know why, but I've forgotten about Gravblade and Red Rock once again. Now, I've made a couple of iterations to the list since my last video, but what we have now is we've got 3 Gravblades here, and we've got 2 Red Rocks. I was running 1 and 2 and upped it. I removed the Shirahoshis from the list. I removed the Namul, the Whitebeard blocker, the 3-cost Whitebeard blocker, to add these to our list. I'm still running 3 Jozu, which could be a 4. Having its bounce back effect could be more required in other matchups, and I haven't got there yet. So some of the core parts of the deck here, I'm just going to go through it in case you haven't seen the last video. Okay, so we have our strategy really is to remove life forcefully using effects like Law. So if your opponent has a large hand size, you can use Law very easily, bounce him back to use him again. We also have Robin, which can remove the life if they've got 3 or more. And we have here Kid, which just removes a life. Cost 8, so you're not likely to be able to swing through the turn you remove that last life, but it removes that last life and sets up a big body for a final swing in the next turn. Puts a lot of pressure on your opponent. And we also have the Soul Pocus, not one that I'm going to hard play, but I trigger this more often than not, and I can force the trigger by using our Hiyori here. Hiyori is, I feel like, she's not core to the strategy, but she is a card that you should always, I think, should always be included. The reason being, she's a 2k counter as one. Second is she can optimize your life for a fancy trigger like these, or one of the, maybe not this one, or one of these to remove bodies. But what she also does is she removes a life from your stack and then puts one on. And because she removes a life, you get to draw a card from Nami's effect. So really useful for that fact alone. We've got the Nami in here for removal off the board. We have, this is another card that's unique to Nami decks. If your Nami's a leader, you can play this and return a 5 cost or less to the owner's hand. That could be yours. That can be, one of your opponents. No, it can't be yours. It is your opponent's. We don't have a lot that we want to return to our hand that's 5 costs. What we want to return is our 6 costs. Anyway, so that's why we've got the Jozu. But it can bump back a blocker for the cost of 2, which is fantastic. And what you can also do is bump back something that is really key, say like a Sanji Pudding, and then use your own Pudding to get rid of that out of their hand as well. So Pudding is in here as a 3 of. I think this is a key card against Luffy. I think in the Luffy deck that I was running, in the Nami deck I was running against the Blue Pepper Luffy, I only had 2 of these, and it was such a performing card that I've upped it again now to 3. Jozu is in here. He bounces one of yours and bounces one of theirs. This is a really fantastic card for setting up plays. And last, we've got these 2 cost blockers, really useful to to get these out, and they help organize our cards, our hand, through this cycle effect, the on-play cycle effect. Last we haven't talked about is Vivi. Vivi's great for replenishing our hand. Our leader gets a 2k buff on your opponent's turn by discarding cards. So if you're running low and you're going into a long game, Vivi's great to be able to replenish your hand. And that's pretty much all she's there for. A cool thing that you can do is, I've got Slave Arrow, and I feel like this is a great card for this deck, and it probably will be for Ace. If you're still following along Ace, I haven't forgotten about Ace, don't you worry. Ace is still in my mind. This is a card that could be useful for Ace as well. Just being able to buff up your leader by that 4,000 on your opponent's turn, but return a 2 cost or higher. So that could be this card. It can be a Hiyori. So for Ace, Hiyori, great. It can be this Vivi. So you could play out your Vivi on one turn as a defensive play, set up for this one, return the Vivi, so you've got it again for the next turn, and keep on getting more cards into the hand that way. All right, I think I've rambled on enough here. Let's have a look. I've got 2 games for us today. They are both against Bello Betty. Because Bello Betty was such a quick match, I didn't want to leave it at just one. Wanted to show you how this deck can constantly perform against it. That's pretty much it. So please do enjoy. If you do like the content, give me a like, please, and subscribe if you're not already subscribed. It'll go a long way for me. I don't like asking for it, but please. All right, we have Nami into Betty here. I think we want to go first. And we'll keep this one here. Yep. No, we won't. This is better. We don't need the pudding in this matchup. Gravblade is awesome, because that'll help us out, and Nami is also awesome. So likely to use Nami ditching the Robin. And we may as well just swing in one. I know it's not great to give them more cards to fuel their... Oh, they didn't want to take it though. And I'm going to put them all on the bottom. Yeah, I know it's not always good to attack into Betty because it just fuels that hand, gives them a good start. But I think we're going to be okay because going first, we're always going to have... We have basically an even curve, and going first, it means we can load 1 dot onto our leader each turn to use this effect here. Which I will here, even though Jozu can counter out, you never know if they've got some form of rush. They usually don't, but why not play it safe when you can? No extra cost, right? All right, this one I love, but it's no good into this matchup, so it will be fodder for Nami's effect. And what else can we do here? Nothing. So let's use Nami's effect here. Now we don't get to use our leader ability during their turn. We get a card here because they just took a life. Checking if it's a trigger. And I think this is going to be pretty straightforward from here because they don't have a board established and they're going into their turn 3. Okay, they did trigger. Triggering does help them, but I still feel quite comfortable given we've got a blocker on the board and something to hit back into anything they swing into us with. So they're really exhausting their hand. We're going into our 7 Don turn. So we're not worried at all. This one swings. We swing back. We've got 2 attackers into this. And we're going to Grav Blade the other 2. They might not even attack with this one. Is that the leader effect? Yeah, that's okay. They're going to attack with this one. KOing that. Nice. We will just take 2 hits this turn, I guess. Which is not a worry for us. Do I want to get out of this? No, I'm chill with it. So we don't want to let on that we've got the Grav Blade. They're going to have to discard 2 from their hand if they want to protect it. They don't. Cool. It's just whether I attack with Nami or not. And I think I don't. No, I will. I'll attack with Nami. Okay. And sorry. But yeah, this is our aggro control card. I mean, look at the board state. 2 versus 2, 7 versus 5, 1 versus 0. And this is the... Okay, that's not bad. Not bad. And we won't do anything here. We're pretty fueled up though. So we can drop a blocker, which would be good. Will cost 5. We got 4 left. Won't be enough to get through. So blocker and 2 of these, and let's put down. Still not enough here. I need to put 1 on my leader at the very least. So we'll attack 1 here. Defending it, okay. We'll do 1 here. It's a real shame I don't have a 2 cost blocker. We'll see if we can get one from the Nami though. We got 1. We'll place on the bottom. We won't need this law and we won't need this law here. And we can drop a second blocker. All on the bottom. End turn. And we can use 1 of these this turn as well. So I think we are good. Okay. Makes us less good. We can block 1. What's the most damage they can do here? Okay. We can just counter out at this. I wonder if they're... I don't know what this is about. Do they have a rush? It just seems odd, right? I don't think we're going to need this. So I'm going to ditch this one. I'm going to No blocker, and I'm going to add, do we have, I don't think I need Jozu, don't think I need Vivi. Okay. I'm guessing they've got some form of rush to get past, because they still know there's a blocker up. Unless they're trying to save this for... Why didn't they do that first then? Okay. I mean, I could even just get out of that, right? 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. I could actually just counter out and save my Nami. Nah, we would have to then return a Nami, so no point. All right, and we got 2 swings. Feels straightforward, no blockers. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 6 onto the other is math game, unless this is something that can actually stop this attacking like a beige. Draw a card, why not? Oh, they could have triggered a blocker as well, I guess, but that's it. All right, quick one. Fairly quick. Let's find another one, shall we? All right, we have a second Betty here. Do I like this? I do. Grav Blades are good. As we have just learned, let's keep that. And Hiyori's not a bad card as well. Especially when you've got that. That's good. Let's use this one. Take the top life. We'll swap it here. And we get to draw because of that. And the thing I like about having the 2 costs on board is when we find our 1 cost event, counter event, we need to return something that's 2 cost or more. So easy target here. Let's take this one. Use trigger. Ooh, they're running Roger. That's nasty. That's a very, very nasty card. I have not seen that in a Bello Betty before, but could you imagine just getting him down to no life, dropping this, dropping a card to do 3 cost across the board and no blockers? That's crazy. What are we doing here? We can do one of these. We'll place on top. Let's leave it like this because actually, let's do it the other way around. I'll discard one of these from Nami. And we'll throw 1 on here. We'll throw 2 on here. And take another life here. All right. And draw. Very nice. Wasn't sure that they were going to take that, but they've got a good hand, so they'll have a good plan going forward from here, I would imagine. We could drop a lot of pressure into them though. Use card action. We will discard Vivi. Six on turn. This is where that law would come in handy. I could just steal one of these away, but what we're going to go for instead is a Nami KO here. 1, 2, 1. Yeah, I won't get the draw effect. Anyway, we'll get rid of this card and we can attack in again. I think they'll discard a 2k this time. Yep. All right. Looking good. We have our blocker still. 7 versus 5. They're going to go down to 5 this turn, 3 on board, 3 on board. Which will put us slightly ahead, I think. Unless they, oh, they're buffed up. There's the other one. Down to 4 now. And we are in prime position for this Grav Blade. So, ooh, okay. What are we going to target here? This is the on play. This is taking them from the hand. Which one's here? I'm going to attach one here. See if they block out. Yep. Cool. And then we're just going to do a nice clean. This is a 6, but this one KOs, so we don't want that. And then I could give them a target. They might even just take it, not wanting to lose another card from hand. Okay, cool. Yeah, so 5 versus 3, 3 versus 1, 3 versus 2. We're winning on all fronts at the minute. And we can still easily block out, turn into a 7k this turn, even though they've only got 2 attackers. I imagine they're feeling like they can't win in this position. And this card is actually not too bad because it just means that they're going to have none in hand next turn. Okay. Do we want to defend this? I'm not going to defend that one. I could go searching for a Grav Blade. How's that? How is that? How is this even possible? This will end on my next turn, not because I take their last life, but because they will be utterly defeated by a Grav Blade. 2 Grav Blades against 1 Bello Betty. I feel for them. I do. Do I attack in? Is it mean? It's a little bit mean, right? Get to draw a card and let's... Sorry. End the turn there. Surely they're not continuing at this point. Surely this is a win. No, they're going for it. They don't want to trash their last life? Nope. Okay, all right. Change of tact, I guess. Let's not do that. Let's I could defend. No, I can't. I can't defend this. So what I'm going to do is I'm not going to lose this one. There we go. How's that? Draw card. You know, if you're going to do this, then, well, then I'm going to do that. There. 3, 4, 5. Let's see how they like Hiyori. So we're taking a life this turn anyway, regardless. If they get a trigger, it could be... Right, draw a card. And one more. We've got to have okay. Yeah, okay. These guys are fighting tooth and nail here. I love it. Yeah, so Nami into these aggro decks, not a problem. Not a problem at all. So many tools that we could have used, so many different paths that we could have taken, and they all would have led to this one scenario. And that is defeat. We've got another Nami here. Bye-bye, blocker. I mean, it doesn't even matter. Two attacks and we got it anyway. But, you know, we can, so we will. Let's just do 5 here. Yep. That's game. This is Nami into Bello Betty. This was really, really straightforward, and I thought this might be a bit trickier than a Zoro, because bouncing back these cards, you know, it plays into their hand. They want to use their hand to boost up their characters, so yeah, quite interesting. I guess I don't have the rush that Zoro has. Maybe I'll have to cover Zoro, you know, in one of the future videos. But I hope you did enjoy these two matches. Nami into Betty. This is looking like a great choice for OP11. Hope you enjoy. Until next time, look after yourselves and look after your decks.